Hi, welcome to Lighting Essentials. I'm Don Giannetti, and this is an image that we did on the update, the free update that went out for the Lighting Essentials owners of the DVD. We did a big 25-minute update that went out for those folks that own it. So as far as lighting is concerned, that's all on that update and on our DVD. But this is going to be a video on how to um, create a little bit of a Photoshop look for this particular image. And this is Megan from the shoot. And those of you who have the DVD, you know the shot that we did. It's the last one on the DVD. And we're going to add some texture to this image and give it a little bit of interest. So first thing that we're going to do is create uh, a layer of color over this for um, give it a little bit of an antique look. I'm going to add a new solid color here. And I'm going to bring that color right down into just about that range right there. And take that opacity way down to about 19%. Yeah, 20% would work out fine. And it just sort of gets rid of a little bit of the kind of desaturates that image. Okay. Now I'm going to bring this text layer over, or this texture layer over to the top of this other image by sliding it over this way. And now we have a texture image. And I'm going to size that to get it down so that textures are just about the same size as the image I'm working with. Just about there. Take that texture now and I'm going to put it as an overlay. It's kind of bright, so I'm going to add a new levels adjustment above it. And with that levels adjustment, I can darken that texture. You see how I did that? Bring that texture right down to about where I think it would look pretty good. Bring this in, maybe brighten this up just a little bit, give that old time look to it, huh? All right, now, got a lot of texture in the face that we may not want. Okay, we're going to add a layer mask to the textured layer right here, adding a mask, using black brush with about 25% opacity. We're going to very, very carefully paint back Megan here. We'll take it back to about 20%. Very carefully paint back Megan so there's a little bit of texture in her, but not as much as the background in other places, so we can work with this pretty well. Hope you're following along. Nice thing about these little YouTube movies is you can stop them and run them back. And those of you, of course, with the DVD, you got it up on your members section. Okay. Now we got that sort of antique look going on in the background here. It's sort of created a bit more interest with the image. The next thing we're going to do is above that, we're going to add a new layer. We're going to take that layer, edit. We're going to fill it with 50% gray. With some of the newer uh, Photoshops, you don't have to do this, but as those of you know that I know me that I do this stuff, I like to keep this at the lowest common denominator. This particular trick works with all Photoshops, but there's a couple of things in CS that you can do that where you don't need to do this. But in this particular case, we're going to do an overlay. We're going to grab a brush and hit D, hit X, put white in the front. With my brush set at an opacity of about 8%, I'm going to come in here and just kind of lighten this, lighten Megan up just a little bit here. It's what I call highlight painting. All right. Just put a little highlight on those thighs right like that. A little bit of highlight right in here. Conversely, I can put it on black, take it up to about 9%, and I can paint this back here. And what that black will do is actually darken the edges of it. Okay, I'm going to add a new layer above that. It's going to be a hue and saturation layer. Goes right up above this. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it down just below that layer here. So we still have our burn. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to desaturate just about, well, let's see, minus 50 going to be too much? Let's go minus 40. Minus 40. So now we've got a completely different looking shot, a little more retro or a little more modern, however you want to look at it, than what we started with. And we still have our image back at the bottom. We can turn all these off. That's where we started. Let's turn them back on. That's where we ended up. Now there's one other thing we could do. We could add the Acme Glam, which those of you who do have the DVD have that action. That's the only place you can actually get that action right now is on the DVD. We'd need a flattened layer to do that. Well, that's a little tough thing to do here at this point, but let's try this. Let's add a new layer above those. I'm going to hold down Control, Alt, Shift, and hit E. Bada boom. At the top, I now have an image of all my layers put together on the top layer. See? Pretty cool. I can go up to my actions here, and I can run whatever action I'd like to run against it. So if you'd like to run the Acme Glam, I think you can do that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, how to add some texture to Megan's shot here. And have a great day. And come visit us over at Lighting Essentials, www.lighting-essentials.com. Thank you.